In this morning's Business Insight, the Minority Business Accelerator has been the flagship minority business development initiative of the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber since the program began in 2003. There's been progress, but the Chamber is focused on future potential. With an aggregate annual sales base of over $1 billion and more than 3,500 jobs created, its leader is confident the accelerator and its portfolio companies can double those numbers in the next 5 years. Darren Reedus is the Vice President of the Minority Business Accelerator and Economic Inclusion for the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber. He is with Business Courier publisher Jamie Smith in the studio. Gentlemen.
Darren, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Jamie.
Now, the Accelerator has some pretty bold goals.
We do.
Let's talk about them. Tell us what some of them are.
In a nutshell, we're looking to double what has taken 13 years to do in the next 5.
Okay.
So, ambitious. So what that means quantitatively is that in aggregate we have 32 African American and Hispanic companies in our portfolio that in aggregate do about $1 billion in annual business and have created about 3,500 jobs. We want to double those numbers in 5 years, so an incremental billion and an incremental 3,500 jobs.
Okay. So it's taken you 13 years to get there.
That's correct.
And you're going to double it in 5.
Yes, sir.
How are you going to do that?
Primarily because, one, our starting point today is very different from our starting point 13 years ago. So what that means quantitatively is that when we kicked off the initiative, really shortly after 2004, when we kind of aggregated 20 companies at that time, average sales of about $6 million.
Okay.
Today, with 32, the average is a little more than 30 million. So our starting point is very different. What that also means is the ability for these companies to attract more sophisticated capital, private equity investments, because they're of a size and scale now where they can receive a big cash infusion to launch a new product line, or perhaps acquire a company and grow through acquisition. So the method of growth can be very different, plus they just have so much more infrastructure today to build upon.
Okay, and in those 13 years, we kind of had a few years that weren't the best years for any business.
That's correct.
So hopefully we won't be seeing that again. Well, tell me, how does this, obviously we're talking about helping the minority businesses. How does it help the region? What does it mean to the region to have a great, system like this?
Now, ultimately, what we're talking about is economic opportunity for all citizens. These are job-creating businesses that create jobs for everyone. And so, in short, the more that we can grow the size and scale and capacity of minority firms, it really does create economic opportunity for all. And not just jobs, but also investment opportunities. These are companies that will require investment in order to grow, and these are investment opportunities, again, for all citizens. Not to mention even broader picture, when we think about just the shifting demographics of the nation. Most projections talk about how this will be a majority-minority country in the next 20 or so years. Well, given that diversity, people are looking for opportunity. So what's the city or the region that has really embraced diversity, really has opportunity for all citizens? That community stands to attract a disproportionate level of the talent nationally. There's folks from all cultures and backgrounds looking at Cincinnati as a place of opportunity.
Okay, well, how does helping these minority businesses help majority businesses?
Similarly, from the standpoint of combination of, again, these are investment opportunities for everyone. Also, the corporate community has its own set of inclusion and diversity goals around their supplier diversity initiatives. So, for example, many corporations strive to be in like Diversity Inc.'s top 50. These are some of the best and brightest corporations that have really embraced diversity, and their numbers are bearing out that those that have done that have often greater market share, perform more competitively, et cetera. And so it really does create a very solid business case. Your customer is changing. I heard a story the other day where someone mentioned that Barbie will take on a variety of different, appearances as time goes on. And so as your customers change, how you adapt to that is certainly important to your business.
Well, that's awesome. Talk a little bit about, like, what do these accelerator portfolio firms look like? I mean, are they all in one industry? Are they all over the board? Does it matter?
All over the board. There's 9 industries at a high level, but it's everything from construction to software and IT. There's facilities management, distribution, manufacturing, so it really does cover a pretty broad spectrum of industries. We are looking to do more in technology going forward, just given the fact that that is where the future is headed. So you'll see more of that in the days, weeks, and months to come.
That's awesome. Is there a lot of collaboration between these firms?
There is. And so there's a variety of additional kind of built-in efforts that frankly don't often get the same sort of attention or even recognition from the standpoint of many of our companies are also partnering on workforce development initiatives. If you think about your typical workforce development effort in the community where they're trying to train folks for, various types of jobs, partnering with the job creators is a fundamental strategy for workforce development initiatives. And so our folks do a great job in partnering in those efforts. Very civic-minded. Many of our leaders are on boards of mainstream firms, foundations, and nonprofit organizations. Philanthropic, give back to many causes, and so it really does have a tremendous ripple effect throughout the broader community.
Well, as always, we're so glad to have people from the Chamber come in. You guys are doing a great thing for this region, and I can't wait to see the success of all your objectives.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks.